Hello, good afternoon and welcome back all. The second part of designing the distribution network in a supply chain. So in the previous class, we learned about the role of distribution in the supply chain, factors influencing distribution network design, and we were learning the design options for a distribution network. So among them, so far we have learned retail storage with consumer pickup, manufacturer storage with a direct shipping. Then we were learning manufacturer storage with a direct shipping and in transit merge. Okay, so this is from where I will continue. Okay, so manufacturer storage with a direct shipping and in transit merge, that is what I was explaining. So Dell is a maker of personal computers. They purchase computer peripherals from different suppliers like monitors from Sony, then processors from Intel, motherboard from Seagate, and so on. Okay. So Dell has an assembly plant in Texas, North America, and Sony, which is one of the suppliers of Dell, has a monitor plant in Mexico. So anywhere in America, when a consumer places an order for a Dell personal computer, okay. So what the Dell does, okay. So Dell ships, okay, its personal computer without a monitor till this point, and it sends in information. It sends in information to Sony in Mexico to arrange to send for a particular model of Sony monitor at this point. So two shipments arrive, one from Texas, okay, the personal computer, including mouse, keyboard, CPU, and monitor arrives from Mexico to this point in a separate shipment, and both the shipments are merged into one shipment here. So I repeat, one shipment from Dell and another shipment from Sony from Mexico, both arrive here, and at this point both the shipments are merged, means it will be converted into one single parcel or delivery. So that one single parcel or delivery is delivered to the customers. Okay, so that is how, instead of two deliveries coming separately to one customer, say for example Sony sending the monitor directly to this customer and Dell sending the keyboard, mouse and CPU directly to this customer. So where the cost of transportation will be higher, so Dell reduces the cost of transportation by using this type of a distribution network, okay, so which is called as a manufacturer storage with a direct shipping and in transit merge. So this is the in transit, where the monitor sent from Sony Mexico and the remaining parts of the computer like mouse, keyboard and CPU sent from Dell from Texas are bind into a single package or into a single delivery, and a single delivery is made to the customers. So if you have any query, you can ask it when I give a break for questions. Then the fourth type in our case is the distributor storage with carrier delivery. So basically, distributor storage with carrier delivery requires a higher level of inventory as compared to manufacturer storage, because there will be a number of distributors who will have inventory of the finished goods from where they will deliver the goods to the customers. So that's why a higher level of inventory is required compared to the manufacturer storage. A distributor storage, however, requires much less inventory than a retail network, the sixth type which we studied first. So in that case, the inventory level will be highest among all the types of distribution networks. So compared to that, okay, the inventory will be lower here. and transportation costs are also lower as compared to the manufacturer storage. So in manufacturer storage with the drop shipping, we learned that the transportation costs are maximum. Even a single delivery, a single unit of product has to transport from the centralized warehouse of manufacturer to the end user. And response time is better than under manufacturer storage because okay, the distributors are located closer to the customer, which enables the distributor to make a faster delivery of the goods. Thus, the response time is better than under the manufacturer storage. So this type of a distribution network is suitable for medium to fast moving products. So let us see how this distribution network works. So as you can see here, factories. Okay, so these are different manufacturers. Okay, and this is a warehouse storage by a distributor. So in some of the industries, okay, these terms are used in a different way, distributor and retailer. For example, in case of automobile industry in India, there is no wholesaler. Okay, from the manufacturer, the finished goods, that is the passenger cars, are supplied to the retailer. In Indian industry, we call them as auto dealers, not retailers. We don't call them as retailers. They are termed as the dealers. Okay, so that way, so warehouse storage by the distributor or retailer, and from where the goods are supplied. So if you remember, the dotted line represents the information flow. Customer places an order with the distributor or retailer, and the distributor or retailer Okay, so I would like to give you an example. So those students who place order from Flipkart or Amazon, especially from our college. So if you remember, all your deliveries are placed in the bakery, if you can recall. Okay, and you are informed over the phone that your shipment has arrived in the bakery. So you all go to the bakery and pick up your deliveries. So that is what exactly we are talking about: manufacturer or distributor storage with customer pickup. Okay, so this is basically practiced by an online retailer called as 7dream.com in Japan. So 7dream.com Japan is a part of 7-Eleven Japan, an organized retail chain store-based firm. It's online wing, it's e-commerce wing of 7-Eleven Japan store-based retailer. So basically what happens here? So again, if you remember, dotted line represents the information flow. Solid line represents the product flow, and the semi-solid line, this represents customer going to the pickup site, picking the product and coming back to his home. Okay, so customer place the order with the retailer. Let us say a student places an order with Amazon for a mobile phone. Okay, and that order is placed to the respective manufacturer of the mobile phone. Okay. Okay, so I'll continue again. So one of the student from our college places an order for a mobile phone with, let us say, with Amazon, and Amazon places that order with the respective manufacturer of mobile phone. Okay, so and then the mobile phone reaches a particular warehouse from the manufacturer, and from where this mobile phone is delivered to a pickup site, say the bakery in our college. And on receipt on receipt of the delivery at the bakery, okay, so you will receive notification from mobile phone that your shipment has arrived in the bakery. So from your hostel you go to the bakery and pick up your product. So that is what exactly is called as manufacturer or distributor storage with customer pickup. So one more concept here is called cross docking. So cross docking concept is, okay, pioneered by Walmart. So this is about a distribution center of an organized retailer. Okay, so where on arrival of the goods in a truck, the goods are actually not unloaded into the warehouse. I repeat, on arrival of the truck of finished goods into the warehouse, the goods are not downloaded or unloaded. Sorry, the goods are not unloaded into the warehouse. In fact, the goods are transferred to another truck, which is the outbound truck. The goods are transported or transferred into another truck, which is leaving to the stores. So it means the goods are not stored in the warehouse, and it saves the cost of storage of the finished goods. So that is what we call it as cross docking. Okay. So some points related to manufacturer storage or distributor storage with the customer pickup. Inventory stored at the manufacturer or distributor. Inventory costs can be lowered. Okay, fast moving items can be stored at pickup sites, and slow moving items can be centralized with the manufacturer. So basically 7-Eleven Japan, okay, which is the organized retail chain. So what they basically do is some of the items that move very fast are stored at the stores itself. The stores themselves are used as pickup sites in case of 7-Eleven Japan, and the slow moving items are held centrally by the manufacturer in case of 7dream.com, the online retailer. And transportation cost is lower than using package carriers because aggregation is possible when delivering orders to a pickup site. So all the goods that are going to a common pickup site are aggregated and sent in a single truck, so thereby reducing the transportation cost by way of aggregation. Major hurdle is the increased cost of handling the pickup sites. Okay, so for example, if Amazon is using our college bakery as a pickup site, so Amazon need to share or provide some amount to the baker. So this type of network works better if the existing locations such as grocery stores are used as pickup sites. So in case of 7-Eleven, 7dream.com, it uses the stores of 7-Eleven Japan as its own pickup sites. And even Amazon and Flipkart for that matter, when they use the other grocery stores or bakeries as a pickup site, they pay a very small amount to them. So anyway, it is lower than Amazon and Flipkart setting up their own pickup sites. Okay, so I hope the point is simple, easy and simple. Okay, now I'll pause here and I'll take any questions. Then there are a couple of slides only remaining. I'll complete the class. So only those who have a question, please unmute and ask your questions.
like na ಬೇಜಾರ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅನ್ನೋದಿನ ಕಜ್ಜಿ ನನಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀ ಮತ್ತ ನಂಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Okay, any questions?
ಪಪ್ಪಾದು ಟೆಂಪರ್ ಪಾರ ಟೆಂಪರ್ ಪಾರ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ನೀವು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ನೋಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಮ್ಮ
Okay, students, I can hear family members talking, but not student questions. I repeat, I can hear family members talking. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, then I'll go ahead with how a company selects a distribution network design. So we are going to learn about the comparative performance of delivery network designs. So if you look at each row represents, okay, the performance points like response time, product variety, product availability, customer experience, and so on. And these are the different types of distribution networks that we just studied. For example, retail storage with customer pickup, manufacturer storage with a direct shipping, manufacturer storage with in-transit merge, distributor storage with pickup, package carrier delivery, distributor storage with last mile delivery, and manufacturer storage with pickup. Okay, now 1 means strongest performance on these criteria, and 6 means weakest performance on these criteria. Say for example, if you consider the retail storage with customer pickup, so this is the type of distribution network to which all of us are exposed to. So when we purchase the grocery, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, we go to the nearby kirana store or a supermarket and we buy. So it is that type of retail storage with customer pickup. Okay, it scores 1 on response time. 1 means strongest performance, which means with the retail storage with customer pickup, the response time is highest. So it is suitable for fast moving consumer goods, if you remember. But if we consider manufacturer storage with direct shipping, okay, direct delivery to the customer, or manufacturer storage in transit merge, it scores 4 on response time, as it takes some time for the manufacturer to deliver the goods to the customer due to the distance. Okay, so this way each of these type of distribution network performs differently on each of these criterias. Similarly, if I consider product variety, retail storage with customer pickup scores low, because there is limited space in the retail store. So a retailer makes available only a small part of the entire assortment available inside the store. So whereas the manufacturer storage in both the cases, whereas in case of manufacturer storage, the warehouse will be of large capacity, and since the inventory is centralized, the product variety available will be maximum. That's why both manufacturer storage with direct shipping and manufacturer storage with in-transit merge score 1. 1 means strongest performance. Okay. So again, similarly, customer experience. Okay, if you look at retail storage with customer pickup, okay, so it scores 5. So it is towards weaker performance. Okay, so as the customer has to walk till the store, okay, spend some physical energy and incur some cost, and next he has to wait for the queue in the point of sale, okay, then return home. Whereas if we consider a distributor storage with a last mile delivery, okay, since the delivery is made at a doorstep of the customer experience in this criteria is very high. Okay, then linking product characteristics and customer preferences to network design. So these are the product characteristics: the product with high demand, the product with medium demand, the product with low demand, the product with very low demand, the product with different sources, so on, the product with high value, etc., quick desired response, and so on. Okay, and these are the different types of distribution networks what we have studied again. So here +2 means very suitable, +1 is somewhat suitable, 0 is neutral, it is indifferent, -1 is somewhat unsuitable, and -2 is very unsuitable. So if you look at retail storage with customer pickup, okay, it's rated as +2. So +2 means very suitable. It means retail storage with customer pickup, the traditional type of distribution channel, okay, is suitable for high demand products. Okay, so please pay attention. It is suitable for high demand products. Customer want to buy them mostly on a day-to-day basis in India, and they want them immediately. That's why manufacturer storage with direct shipping scores are rated as -2, very unsuitable. Okay, so similarly, a product with a low demand, if you consider retail storage with customer pickup, is rated as -1, means somewhat unsuitable. Okay, but whereas distributor storage with carrier delivery or manufacturer storage with customer pickup is rated as +1, so which is somewhat suitable. So this way, depending on the product characteristics, a company goes and chooses the type of distribution network which are suitable to the respective product characteristics which the company is selling. So this is how a company makes choice of the different types of distribution networks depending on the product characteristics. Okay, so finally we will discuss the e-business and the distribution network. So what is the impact of e-business on customer service? Okay, so if you look at the response time, which is basically delivery time increases, okay, which is not good here. Product variety increases, good for customers. Direct sales to customers is made possible by way of e-business. Returnability is possible but slightly complicated. Then impact of e-business on cost. Okay. So since inventory is held in few centralized warehouses, the inventory quantity of inventory reduces, and so the inventory carrying cost also decreases. The number of facilities basically also decreases. Okay, and but the transportation cost increases. So this is how e-business has an impact on these various elements. Okay. Then distribution networks in practice. So points to remember by, or points to be considered by the company. The ownership structure of the distribution network can have as big as an impact as the type of distribution network. Say for example, if we consider a traditional distribution channel, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and customer. Okay, so manufacturer, wholesalers, and retailers are all three different entities. So each are the owners of their respective stages. So this can have a impact on the type of distribution network. The choice of a distribution network has very long-term consequences. Okay, it means a company cannot easily change its distribution network once it decides on a distribution network. So I would like to recall the example of a Dell competition of Dell and Hewlett Packard. Traditionally, where Hewlett Packard sold its personal computers through retailers and Dell sold its personal computers through an innovative direct sale model. Dell sold its personal computers directly to the customers without middlemen, and it started capturing the market share of Hewlett Packard. So, and Hewlett Packard also wanted to respond and start selling online directly to the customers. So during that time, the retailers of Dell or dealers, the retailers of Hewlett Packard or the dealers of Hewlett Packard, okay, raised their voice against this decision of Hewlett Packard and threatened Hewlett Packard that if Hewlett Packard starts selling online, they will not support the products of Hewlett Packard. Due to this problem, it was delayed by Hewlett Packard to start its online channel. But by that time, Dell became number one PC maker in America. So that is how the choice of a distribution network has very long-term consequences, and it is difficult to reverse it in a short time. So I hope the points are clear. Let's just summarize what we have learned in this chapter. So I learned what are the key factors to be considered when designing the distribution network. What are the strengths and weaknesses of various types of distribution networks, and what role do distributors play in supply chain. So this is what we learned. So I hope the matter was clear. I'm sorry for the disturbances in between. That was due to poor internet connectivity. Now I'm going to unmute you all. I repeat, I'm going to unmute you all. Okay, so please maintain silence from your end. Those students who do not have questions, you can mute yourself again. I repeat, those students who do not have any questions, please mute yourself. Okay, you can ask your questions now. Okay, anybody has a question? Yeah, Kiran, do you have any question? Kiran, do you have any question? Prabhu, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Pavitra, do you have any question? Okay. See now, pay attention. I have muted you all again.